So what we do here is transformational NLP. And NLP is the study of the structure of human experience. NLP is a behavioral and perceptual toolbox for understanding and changing behavior and experience. It is NLP stands for neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro is the nervous system or the pathways which we experience the world, which we bring the world in through our five senses: visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. So that's the neuro. Linguistic is our language and nonverbal communications. And programming is a set of instructions that in the specific order that create our experience. Now, I'm going to show you some things today about structure to help you understand what structure is. One of the things is in our language, is how we phrase things, how we ask things in combination with the physiology to understand structure. Everything is connected. I'm going to take you through a couple-minute experiential thing right now. Everybody bring to mind some issue you're working on. So something that's please don't bring up your biggest thing in your life, okay? Just put something that's a little sticky, okay? Now, I'm going to ask you to slouch over a little bit, and I'm going to ask you a couple questions about that, okay? So why is this a problem for you? And just answer internally for yourself. And whose fault is it? And why did you do what you did around it? Or not do what you're not doing? And why won't it change? All right, so everybody sit back up, relax a little bit, shake it off. That's one way of asking questions, okay? And now just sit however you are comfortable sitting and think about the same issue, but I'm going to ask you questions a little differently. What is the difficulty here? What about this is difficult? And how did it get set up to be difficult? And what is within your ability to change about this? And what's important to you about changing it? Did anyone notice what the difference in the types of questions I was asking were? Is that obvious to anyone? The first round, I was asking why questions. I was asking for explanations. And the second set, I was asking more about structure, how and what, and asking. So both are very valuable. In NLP, we tend to ask more how questions, not why. And it's not how come, but it's how did this happen? Where did it happen? What happened? What specifically was going on? That allow us to notice a little bit more of the structure, and that get us a different set of information. It gets us more of the deep structure of information. The why questions are our best explanation. One of the examples here is if your teenage child gets in a fender bender and you ask them, why did you get in an accident? You're not exactly going to get the information you need. You want to know how it happened, who was in the car, how fast were you going, what happened, and this is after you've determined they're okay. That's why I'm saying fender bender. But you need the facts, the structure of what happened to know what, if anything, needs to be adjusted. If you ask a 6-year-old why they took 3 cookies out of the cookie jar, you're not really going to get a useful information. But if you're trying to figure out how they managed to find the cookie jar, that you might want to ask them how did you know it was there? Your dad's been giving you. Okay, got it. It's a little bit about knowing when to use which questions. But when we're trying to get into the deep structure, we're trying to ask the how questions. So that's just an example, just a slight. And then I had you shift your physiology, because your physiology also determines how you feel, and how you feel determines how you think. So there's a loop to all of it. If you're having a really tough time, notice your posture. You might want to shift your posture and just notice if something changes. I'll talk more about it because depending on how your posture is, and that includes like where your eyes are going, it will bring up different information inside of you. And you can utilize these for some good effect.